What up, Lakers Nation? It's your boy DTLF back on another post-game recap as the Lakers fall to the Toronto Raptors, man. The defending champion Toronto Raptors. What was the final score? Let me see. It was 107-92, so not a very pretty game, man. Here's my thing. Tonight was a tough loss on many levels. One, obviously, credit to the Toronto Raptors. They're still the defending champions, and I don't think they get enough credit for how good they are as a team. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league. So that's the reason they match up favorably with us, because they have a lot of size and athleticism, and they basically have something good at every position. Now, remember, I told you guys in pregame that we had to watch out for Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry because our perimeter lacks a little bit with the basically with no Avery Bradley. We don't have that guy that could just stick to them like glue, right? So this game was off from the beginning, man. Anthony Davis and LeBron, for the most part, were non-factors. LeBron came alive a little bit here in the second half, but for the most part, like I said, they were non-factors, and Toronto did that. That was part of their game plan. Now, there's two players I want to trash, and I'm usually not a fan of blaming players, but two players really cost us the game, and it changed the tempo and everything. Everything slowed down because they couldn't knock down their shots, and that's who you see on the thumbnail, Danny Green and KCP. Those guys, and even Markieff Morris had a couple wide open ones that he missed. They weren't knocking down shots, guys. Now, that's a problem. Let me tell you why. Because everybody coming in, a good defensive team knows you have to take out LeBron and Anthony Davis from the game. Now, how do you do this? Every time they catch the ball in their favorite position or even out by the perimeter, you double them and you force the ball out of their hands, and now somebody else has to knock down a shot and make them pay for the double team. If not, it's a wasted possession. It's basically a turnover. Sure enough, the Raptors did this time and time again, and they got the ball out of our guys' hands. They kept doubling. They got away with a lot of fouling, but that's something we have to get used to because in the playoffs, there's going to be so much hacking that's going to not be called. That's playoff atmosphere basketball. So, but unfortunately, here's the problem. They get a lot of ticky-tack fouls, so the Lakers just have to roll with the punches. Look, guys, Danny Green, if he's not knocking down shots, he can't be in the starting lineup. Simply because we need somebody that can make them pay consistently. And shout out to Kuz. He had some big shots to keep us in this game. For the most part, the game got away from us late in the third, early in the second. But, yeah, Danny Green, he better step up his game or he's going to get replaced by either Kuz, Dion Waiters, or J.R. Smith. By the way, shout out to Caruso. He played a solid game. Kuzma, again, having a solid game, keeping us in the game in the first half. Dwight Howard was decent, I thought. Dion Waiters struggled from the field, but other than that, he's solid there at this position. I love our bench. Our bench did work. It wasn't our bench fault that we lost this game. This was on the starters, particularly, like I said, Danny Green and KCP, because now everything closes down and collapses. The whole defense collapses on AD in the paint. Now he can't work. Remember, they got rim protectors. They got Marcus Gasol, Serge Ibaka. They got guys down there with length, athleticism, guys who can block shots, even weak side defenders like Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby. They have plenty of talent down there, and that's what I was afraid of. That's why I felt like a loss coming on, even though I'm always confident in my team. But this felt like an L because for some reason the Toronto Raptors have our number. They match up extremely well. So God forbid we have to face them in the playoffs. Like I said this in pregame. They're a dark horse team to come out of the East. They still have that championship mentality defense, and this is why I felt people gave way too much credit to Kawhi for winning. He had a great team last year, and it still shows because they're holding up just fine without him. So, Danny Green, and this is what I want to make this video about, and I want to hear you guys' comments in just a little bit. Danny Green and KCP. I put out a poll for you guys to vote on, and I said, should we bench Danny Green or KCP in favor of, I said, Kuz. I said one was going to be Kuz, the other one's going to be Caruso, and the other one's going to be Dion Waiters. So who do we start? You guys picked Dion Waiters. That's who won the poll. So a lot of you guys feel like we should bench either KCP or Danny Green for Dion Waiters. Now, ugly game. And again, credit to Toronto. They made it ugly. It was like a San Antonio-style game, like the way San Antonio likes to slow things down and just make it a grind-over thing. They turned us over, got it in transition, and they flopped a lot as well. I mean, Kyle Lowry flopped so much. It's sickening to watch. But as long as the refs reward him, he's doing the right thing, right, in his mind. But all in all, guys, this was a bad loss. I'm hoping that they learn from it and get better. That's my only upside. Hopefully they get better from that and we can improve for the next game. How you guys feeling though? My man said Dion should not be a starter. Stop it. Now, I didn't say that. I just put out the option. I never said that, Lamar. So don't put words in my mouth, my man. I said I gave you guys the option because a lot of people are enamored by Dion Waiters, myself included. I think he's been great off the bench. In my opinion, I think Caruso should start. And we should bring, I already told you guys my opinion, KCP, J.R. Smith, and Dion Waiters off the bench because two of those guys can guard. I'm sorry, they can ball handle. So, yeah, that's the reason I like that. And I would start Caruso, who has great chemistry and is also another playmaker that takes pressure off of LeBron. Oh, he said wasn't talking about me? For sure. Dan, this was an embarrassing loss. Kuzma and Caruso, much credit. Yeah, I mean, Kuzma continues to be that guy, man. He continues to hit big shots. And I told you guys he was going to pan out. We just got to be patient for him. I still think there's a lot of room for improvement in his game, but he's getting better and better, man. How about that little fading over to the right when he was falling away? That was nice. But, again, it's all for nothing if we lose. I was expecting for Anthony Davis and LeBron James to turn up, and they never did. But, again, that's because guys weren't hitting shots, and it's impossible to attack the paint when there's 3-4 bodies in there, especially when they're getting away with hacking, which Toronto did today. So it was hard for LeBron. I understand LeBron and Anthony Davis not being able to get off, but they still have to look to exert themselves. Now, again, we can't have Danny Green and or KCP starting if they're not going to knock down shots. They're there to knock down shots. Every time that LeBron drives and the defense collapses, we need somebody that's ready to catch and shoot. You know? He said, Dan, is this one game slip or something we need to be very concerned about? This is a one game slip. Like, I'm not going to go off and you know, like a lot of people overreact and have a knee-jerk reaction. It's a bad loss, don't get me wrong. I would have wished we played a lot better, or at least make it a closer game. But, look, we were right there, and Anthony Davis and LeBron James were out of this game. And I said this before, yesterday too, Danny Green and KCP weren't knocking down their shots, and so it was a grinded-out game. And sometimes we'll win those, and sometimes you'll lose those. In order to open up the floor for everybody else, they have to knock down their shots. They cannot start if they're not knocking down their shots. We have plenty of capable shooters. In that case, start Jared Dudley because he's going to give you probably at least some better shot making than Danny Green if that's the case. I'm kidding. I'm being sarcastic. Don't start Jared Dudley. But what I'm saying is we need somebody consistently making shots, whether it be whoever, anybody. Jameson, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. He said, way too sloppy of a game tonight to get a win. I agree with that, and I felt like it was going to be that type of game from the beginning. We got off to that slow start, and it was over. They controlled the tempo. Now we were facing an uphill battle, and every time we made a run, you know, Kyle Lowry was getting those foul calls or getting some wide open shots, or Fred VanVleet. They got a nice 1-2 punch there at the guard position. So I knew it was going to be hard and tough because we struggle versus quick, speedy guards, shifty guys like Kyle Lowry, who was killing us all night. He dropped a 30-piece. So that tells you how much we miss Avery Bradley, and I knew this would happen sometimes. However, it's not a major concern because we have plenty of capable defenders. Another thing I got to say, Coach Frank Vogel should have done a better job tonight. Normally I don't critique him, but he should have done a much better job of taking out Danny Green after the first atrocious half he had where he was messing everything. I'm going to go back and look at the stats. Look, we shot, I think this was the worst shooting game of the year for us. I heard the commentator say. We shot a very abysmal 35% from the field and 25% from beyond the arc. Okay, and here's another criticism. If you don't have it going from beyond the arc, if you're, 1 for 10, you should not end the night on 25%. You should not have gone, 10 for 40. 43 pointers is way too much. If at least 15 of those 3-pointers we would have took inside the paint, maybe the score would have been different. But again, we settled too much, and we played right into their defense. That's what they were doing. They were, collapsing on LeBron and AD and forcing other guys to score, and they did it. And then, like I said, Toronto didn't even shoot that well. They shot 41%, which is decent, but it's not great. But these are the type of teams that like to slow it down and force you to play tough basketball. He said, no hunger, unlike against the Clippers. That is true. We didn't show our hunger tonight. But it's, again, and I told you guys this in the last game, I feel like the Lakers just get too confident because we're very talented and we slack off in the first half sometimes. We get off the slower starts. And what that does, it creates a problem because now you're in a hole and you're battling uphill throughout the course of the game. We can't do that, man. We can't do that. We have to take that bad habit away and start off quicker. And in order to do that, Frank Vogel might have to infuse some offensive firepower. whether it be one of those three guys I mentioned, whether it be Caruso with his playmaking abilities, whether it be Kuzma with his floor stretching abilities, and the fact that he's playing a lot better defense, or whether it be, Dion Waiters, JR, whoever. But they might have to infuse the starting lineup with a little bit more options, because when LeBron James drives and the defense collapse, he needs to have guys that are going to knock down shots. Same thing for AD. When he posts up and he gets to his spots and then they send a double team, triple team, guys need to knock down shots. That way next time they play him one-on-one more often and he's able to go and do what he does. Lakers did look a bit tired, but no excuses, man. At this point of the year, with all the rest they've had, we can't make that an excuse anymore. We have to come out and be ready. He said, Danny Green and KCP going to get us killed, but I don't like Caruso on offense either. Can't forget about the Reefer Raptors. I've been telling people, they're always sleeping on the Raptors just so they don't have Kawhi. Kawhi doesn't win that championship if you don't have the Raptors. Put it like that. That's how I'm going to put it. If Kawhi was on a different team, he's not a champion. So all this, Kawhi carried them to the championship, baloney. That's why I don't praise the man like that. I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, he hit some big shots. Yes, he was crucial for them. But the Raptors are a very formidable team with or without him. He said, stop the Danny Green hate, fans. He's been doing this all season. I'm not sure what you're saying, Lamar, but look, nobody hates on Danny Green. We just need him to play a lot better. And he needs to stretch the floor and be able to do what he does. Now, this is not just one game. He's had several bad games like this. I still believe that he will turn up in the playoffs, but coach needs to send a message. I mean, look, maybe give him one more game starting. If he throws up another bagel, literally, the man had 0 points. He throws up another bagel, there's no way he can keep starting because we need to stretch that floor. All of a sudden, guess what? The NBA is going to get the memo. Hey, if we double LeBron, triple LeBron, and AD, those shooters aren't going to knock down shots. So that's the key right there. And you can't have a weak point like that. Nope. I love Danny Green, but if he continues to shoot like this, he might have to start coming off the bench. Same thing with KCP. KCP has back-to-back bad games. They've been good all year. KCP has been good all year, so I give him a little bit more slack. But it's all good. We'll see. We got to bounce back. Steven Overton, he said, we need our role players to shoot better overall. Exactly. He said, we need to start putting AD at the 5. I'm not opposed to this, but I prefer to wait till the fourth quarter to do that because he's going to get banged down low more, and there's a higher chance of an injury. You want to protect your jewel. You want to protect your gem and try to avoid that. So I say if you do need to play him at the 5, go ahead and do it in the fourth quarter when it's down to crunch time. He said AD took too long to get it going. Yeah, him and LeBron were basically no-shows. LeBron hit 2 threes, but that was like the highlight of his night offensively. It's all good. He said, Dan, I'm not tripping about this game or any future games. When playoffs start, then I worry, but until the playoffs, people need to chill out. For sure. I mean, you don't see me panicking. I'm coming here with a calm voice. I'm coming in here relaxed because, look, I told you guys we can't win them all. I expect us to win 6 out of 8, but even a 5 out of 8 will be cool. All we need is to win one more game to clinch first in the West. We're definitely going to do that. Again, the key here is just going into playoffs healthy. But, however, we do have to start building better habits. When we fall early in the game, it's like we allow teams to get this confidence going, and now they truly believe they can beat us. That can't happen because we are a better team than the Raptors, even though they beat us twice this year. And, again, props to them. They're very well coached. Nick Nurse is a very good coach, and obviously he's proven he's a championship coach. So I knew this was going to be a tough matchup. I even told you guys in pregame, I don't know if we'll win, but hopefully we do. It's a conference finals. At least we good. Kuz is balling. I told you guys, just be patient with the kid. And he'll have some bad games still, but he has improved a lot, and I'm very happy for him. It's a Jameson Mesa said, Danny Green has not given us anything the last 2 games. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, he needs to start stepping up. And thanks for the donation, bro. He definitely needs to step it up. No more excuses. We're in that point of the season where we need to start seeing what we could count on. Frank Vogel right now is looking for key rotation players that he can count on to give them the bulk of the minutes down the stretch in games. As you can see, Danny Green did not close a game. And rightfully so. I like the fact that Frank did do that. But I think he still took too long to yank him out. Honestly, I wouldn't have started him in the second half the way he's shooting. Just to send a message like, yo, Danny, get in the gym. Get your shot right. If not, you're gonna get benched. And then eventually, when he earns it back, give it back to him. I'm not a DG hater, but when you put up a bagel versus a team like the Raptors, you're matter of fact, you should have been motivated. That's the team that let you go. They didn't want to pay you. You got to prove them wrong, man. Right now, I know the front office of the Raptors are probably thinking, yeah, that's why we didn't want to re-sign him. But nah, Danny Green's better than what he has shown the last 2 games, and I can't wait till he proves everybody right. Dan, we need to trade Danny Green if he does this in meaningful games. I do agree with that because we're gonna need guys like DG to step up in the playoffs, and if he doesn't step up, then hey, I don't put nothing away from Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka is very smart. You've seen him out there looking like the Godfather, man, with his slick back hair. My man was ready, man. He's out here scouting players. So at the end of the day, look, man, whoever doesn't perform during these playoffs, you can believe that, my man Rob Pelinka will definitely be taking some phone calls. Kuzma's defense intensity has been exceptional. And we always knew he was capable of it, man. It was only a matter of time before we put pen to paper with Kyle Kuzma. And tonight he proved himself again and again. But to me, the most important thing about Kuzma is that when his shot isn't falling, that he finds other ways to impact the game. And I feel like he's finally figuring that out in his career. Like, he's still young. People forget this is his 3rd year. They treat him like he's been in the league for 6-7 years and he's a bum or something. No, he's had some huge games for a young career that he has. He's already gotten a lot of experience down to crunch time. Frank Vogel showing that he trusts in him, leaving him in the 4th quarter is huge. Now, there was a moment there, like within 5 minutes left, where he pulled them out, but it was just to get a quick breather. And man, like, you could tell that they really killed our chemistry when Frank Vogel pulled them out for a bit. Like, that's when they went on that 7-0 run. We went from tied to 7-0. So Kyle Kuzma was truly earning some definite trust from teammates and coaches. So that's a great thing for him. And I'm happy for the kid. I'm not surprised at all. You see my calm demeanor because he is who I thought he was. I keep telling you guys, the kid is special. It's only a matter of time for he to start showing all the naysayers and proving them wrong. Too good for Matt. He said, Dan, Clipper fan here. Don't worry, y'all will be fine. Can't wait for the Western Conference Finals. Appreciate your donation, man. And let's hope y'all get to the Western Conference Finals because I'm telling you, y'all never did that before. Y'all will be making history, and that will be a championship in itself for your fan base. But I do appreciate the $5 donation and the respect. Appreciate that. Anytime anybody comes at me respectfully, no matter what fan base it is, I will treat them. The feeling is mutual because that's how my mama raised me. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Steven Overton said random, but I think we add a 3rd superstar next season. You know what, man? Anything's possible in the NBA, especially with a shark like Rob Pelinka. I call him a shark because he's always out there in the waters, just checking for what's available. Now, there's a couple names that have been floated out there. There's a couple names. Some people say Lillard is growing frustrated. He hasn't won nothing, and he's been great. I doubt we have the. Well, I don't doubt it. I don't put it out of reach. Maybe we have some trade value in some players. Zach LaVine, a lot of people are enamored by him. I'm a fan of his since UCLA. But I'm not looking right now. I love the team as constructed. We have more than enough capable players. Don't let one game fool you. This is going to happen. It's a long season. My thing is, I trust this team, and I think we're going to win the championship. And if we do win the championship, I don't want to subtract or trade nobody away. I rather just add. Now, if we had to subtract and trade, it has to be something that makes sense, right? Something like, oh, you couldn't pass up on that trade. But that's why we have Rob, and so far, he's getting an A+, man. He's a great, great, great general manager. Hey, Drone Sniper, thank you, bro. He said Rob Pelinka is a mastermind scheming as always. Yes, and he's in the bubble. A lot of people don't believe it, but trust me, he's out here in the bubble recruiting, man. He's out here scouting players. He's out here doing work. Remember, he was an agent before, so he's good with his mouth. He knows how to talk to players. He knows what to say. There's a reason that, players had him as an agent when he was an agent back in the day. So I'm going to say this, man. Rob Pelinka is always ready and anything's possible, but I'm not even looking at that right now. I'll wait to make those type of videos and touch on those conversations for the offseason. Right now, we're focused on championship only, man. We're 6 games away from the playoffs. We haven't been to the playoffs in years, guys. Do you know how excited we should be right now? We should be ecstatic, and I am. I can't wait till the playoffs. Kyle Lowry is a nobody anyways. Nah, man. A lot of people disrespect Kyle Lowry, but he's very decent, man. He's a borderline all-star every year. I know he doesn't have the sexiest game. I know he doesn't have the best layup package. He doesn't have the best crossovers, but he is speedy. He's shifty. He can knock down big shots, and he plays good defense. The one thing I don't like about him that he's a big-time flopper. But other than that, man, you can't disrespect a champion. Like my man said, he's a champion. I know we lost, but nah, man, we're not gonna disrespect talent just because we lost. My man Kyle Lowry is very, very good, and he's a champion for a reason. He's a Paul George looking like his Pacer days. I didn't watch that game. That game was boring, man. Honestly, like I've been telling people, and some of you guys have said you guys thought the Pelicans would make the playoffs. I've been saying it from the beginning. I don't believe it. If they do, that would be surprising because normally young teams don't make the playoffs. They're inexperienced and they don't know how to win big games. The last game and this game were huge games for the Pelicans, and they lost them both, which shows that they still don't have that superstar to lead them. They have a borderline one in the making in Brandon Ingram, but he's still young and he's still learning. So that's why I'm very happy we made the trade, even though AD didn't have a great game today. I'm very happy because AD helps you win championships. Young players still learning, and it's a learning process. You got to be patient, but in the end, it is worth it for them because he will be a beast. Those young players will be really good together. Hey, thanks so much, Supra. I appreciate you, bro. Damn, that's nice. He said it was very boring. Yes, it was. That game, man, I flipped off in the fourth quarter. I was like, nah. He said you have good Laker commentary. I appreciate you, brother. I've been doing it for a couple of years, but if you're new, welcome to the channel, and thank you so much for a donation. Always appreciate it. He said Lakers will always bounce back. We ain't worried about nothing. Yeah. Again, just a bad game. We got to shake it off, but it's a good learning process for us. We have to learn what not to do. I'm sure Frank Vogel will go back to the drawing board and show a lot of film to the team, which is good. They have a day off here. How about a nice little film session? Hey, check this out, guys. Danny Green, you have to knock down shots. KCP, you have to rotate quicker in the perimeter. We have to communicate on defense and switch better. Little things. That's all you got to do, man. As a coach, you got to point out the little things and hope that your team learns and grows from this loss because, you can learn from even a win, but especially the losses. Why do the Raptors always beat the Lakers? Some teams, believe it or not, they match up more favorably versus certain teams. And I got to tell you, man, they're a tough matchup for any team in the league, but especially against us because, look, we're struggling defensively from the perimeter. Guards that just slash you and basically drive and kick and do all these kinds of stuff, we're going to struggle versus those kind of guards. So that is a little bit concerning because we don't have Avery Bradley. With Avery Bradley, I was so confident we could stop anybody, but those guards are going to slash us up. And yes, they play exceptional defense, man. The Raptors are a very good defensive team. Kevin King, he said, to get the third so-called superstar, they will have to include Kuzma in the package. Let me finish that one. He said, let me scroll up. They will have to include Kuzma in the package, and I want to keep Kuzma. I feel you on that, brother. Y'all know how I feel about Kuz. But a superstar is a superstar. If they're not asking for too much, if it's something where they just need to rebuild, let's just say that the Portland Trail Blazers say, hey, Lakers, we need cap space. We want a draft pick, at least a late first round or maybe some second round picks, and we want Kuzma. You can't say no to that. And I love Kuzma. I hope we never trade him. I hope he continues to grow and eventually becomes an all-star with the Lakers because I believe he can. But you got to be realistic. Depends on the situation. And also, Kuzma's that type of player that, trust me, if he wasn't here with the Lakers, he'd be averaging what everybody expected him to average after the first season, after the second season. Like, this man was trending upwards. Go back and look at his stats. He started off averaging like 15 his rookie season or something like that, and then 18, and then he was supposed to blow up this year. But again, we added Anthony Davis. That's going to definitely hit your scoring average. And it's not just all about scoring. He's definitely improved on a lot of other areas. But yeah, I hope that we never trade Kuz. I hope we keep him. However, we'll see what happens. He said, Dan, I remember your ranting days. Yeah, man, you guys love to remind me about that. Hey, those were hard times for all of us, but the passion was always there, as you can see. Blue Diamond Gem. He said, what do you think of OKC? They looking sick, bro. I mean, people discarded Chris Paul. There's a reason why a lot of us wanted, OKC to cut Chris Paul, and then the Lakers picked him up. That would have been a guaranteed dynasty right there. But, Chris Paul's still that guy. And he's one of those type of players, very similar to Steve Nash, that, they play well into their mid-30s, like really well. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, like it's crazy how, people just basically, they thought once he went to OKC, he was going to just roll over and retire. Nah, he's still very good, man. He's still a very good player. And that kid, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, those Clippers are going to regret trading for him because Paul George is not going to live up to the hype come playoff time, and they're going to get bounced at some point in the playoffs. I don't know when, but they're going to get bounced. And they basically traded away a future star player for, for a 2-3 year rental. Block the flipper fan. I don't even see him. He's so irrelevant. I can't even see him, guys. Just ignore him. They don't have apparently they don't have enough of a fan base to have, Clipper talk. So they come over here. They're like undercover Laker fans. Lakers can't be the Clippers. You're right. We can't be the Clippers. We definitely don't want to be the Clippers. What the hell? Who the hell wants to be the Clippers? Selfie taking, stripper loving, chicken wing eating Clippers. Nobody. Get blocked. Get out of here, man. Out here with your Clipper loving ass. You're probably so happy today because you beat an unexperienced Pelican team. Everybody knows that's nothing to brag about. The Pelicans, we swept them this season, man. There's nothing to brag about. They're a young up and coming team. Dark Knight needs to get blocked too. Dark Knight. I like that name, Dark Knight, man. Where is he? Where's he at? The Raps number 1. Oh, I mean, in the East, I'll give it to you, bro. They definitely ain't gonna be number 1 in the West if they was out here, man. But yeah, hey, the Raptors, y'all have a very formidable team, man. Respect. Raptors better than the Clippers for sure. You know what? I give you that. They're deeper for sure. They're a team that I actually respect, unlike the Clippers. I don't respect the Clippers. Also, Dan, is it possible for BI to come back to LA after his contract is up this year? I believe no, not possible. Pipe dream, not gonna happen. He's a restricted free agent. You know what that means? That means that no matter what they offer him, they're gonna match, and he's gonna get offered a max contract somewhere. They're gonna match because he's that good, and he's gonna keep getting better. He's worth. I'm not sure if he's worth the max right now. However, we are in a league where players are overpaid sometimes, hoping for the promise, for the purpose of the promise, right? So he shows tons of promise, and so they're gonna probably, match whatever. How we keep losing to the Raptors? That's not a big deal, man. We're not gonna see them again this season unless they make it to the finals. But yep. Yeah, Clipper fans, man, you guys are delusional. Like, I swear, you guys have fans. You probably have like all 5 of your delusional Clipper fans are somewhere in San Diego right now. Like, we ain't trying to hear from y'all. So many haters in here. Holy haters gonna hate. And I'm gonna tell you one thing about haters, man. They make me greater. It's actually helping my channel with the views and all that. I get paid more, so keep it coming. ZK Clan, big Clippers fan, Dan. Is he? Is that what he is? He's a Clipper? I thought he was a Raptor fan. Interesting. He said, not a fan of either LA team, but Clippers are better. I mean, that's your opinion, man. Your opinion doesn't matter here, honestly. He said, Danny Green went 0 for 7. He's been hanging out with JR. Danny Green's just in a slump, man. He needs to get out of that slump quick before he loses his job. He needs to get out of that slump, man. We're waiting for him to come out of the funk. Because the Danny Green that played for the Spurs, that's the one we need. He said, this tough schedule is only going to help the Lakers be better prepared for the playoffs. Exactly. Win or lose, that's what I've been saying. We're going to be battle tested, We're going to be battle tested, and that's fine. I'd rather be battle tested than get an easy schedule and go into the playoffs unprepared. I'll take a couple more questions, though, before I get off, guys. I actually go to work tonight. I work during the night. So, yeah, I got to go and, be an essential worker tonight. The chat is toxic tonight. I really haven't read too many bad comments. I ignore the idiots for the most part. The Lob City Clippers, I expect you to be proud of that since you're a losing franchise. They have no history. It's crazy. It's crazy how they have no history. And for some reason, it's a mystery to me why they got this type of fan base. Like, it's ridiculous. He said, Kyle Lowry went off. Should we start Kuz? I'm for it, man. I've always been for starting Kuz. However, I do like the spark that him and Dion Waiters and Alex Cruz will provide off the bench. I would only like to remove one of those guys from the bench and insert him into the starting lineup. I'm not sure if that should be Kuz because he's doing exceptional right now. And like I always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. Right now he found his rhythm. He's the first sub off the bench. He's getting that confidence, and he's earning those minutes, and he's closing games with the Lakers. That's all that matters. To me, it don't matter who starts. It matters who finishes. And as long as Kuzma continues to be efficient and play defense, it's all good. He said, I know Flipper fans ain't talking. They lost to the sorry Bulls earlier in the season. Flipper fans still mad they lost to us, man. They can't get over it, bro, because they know the truth. It's like, it's like when the little brother gets beat by the older brother, then he cries to his mama. That's what the Clippers are doing right now. They're crying to their mama. You want your Milky? He said, I think having Siakam, Gasol, Anunoby, Hollis Jefferson, and Ibaka all consistently annoyed AD tonight. He dominated against the Flippers, and it shows which Raptors are way more stacked than the Flippers. Exactly. Dan, we going to bounce back. Absolutely, Lamar. Ain't nothing to it, man. It's a bad game. Dirt off your shoulders and just keep it going, man. That's what we got to do. Danny Green misses Toronto. Don't blame him. I guess if he misses bad weather, we can always facilitate a trade. Let's see. Who would you guys want to give us for Toronto? We'll take OG Anunoby. Is it Dan? Do you think Bron's saving the Powers till the playoffs? He has been balling out. Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen him go 100 miles an hour, except when he played the Clippers. He was playing hard, man, versus the Clippers. But yeah, I would hope he does reserve himself a little bit for the playoffs. I really would. You said Clippers are a good team, Dan. I'm worried. LeBron versus Kawhi. Clippers are a good team. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say they suck. I mean, obviously they have 2-star players. So any team with 2-star players are a good team. Now, are they the best team to rival the Lakers in the West? I don't believe that. I think there's plenty of other teams that we can worry about before the Clippers. Clippers are probably like the 3rd or 4th best team in the West, in my opinion. I think there's a couple others that we should worry about just a little bit more. They have more depth, more consistency, and better chemistry. The chemistry is trash on the Clippers. Trash. He said the weather in Toronto is no different than in New York. Exactly. How's that working out for the Knicks as far as a recruitment pitch? But thank you for making my point, man. I appreciate that. Doc is overrated. He said, I never see no Flipper fan in L.A. Let's be honest, though. Let's be honest. The Raptors, as good as they are, they're not landing any free agents anytime soon. Because of the weather, because nobody wants to live in Canada. And I like Canada. I think the people are nice over there. I personally have never been over there, so I can't complain about it. But you guys have to do your damage through 2 things: the the draft and via trades, which is, it's. I commend you guys. They've done an excellent job of drafting well and trading well. So I remember they were mad when they traded DeRozan, but it turns out it was a good trade, wasn't it? I would trade for a championship 10 days out of the week, man. Young Elder, he said, Danny Green and Pope ain't cutting it for now. But however, KCP has been exceptional throughout the season. Let's not jump off the ship just now. Remember, he started slow and then he picked it up, man. For 75% of the year, he's been great. He said, I beg to differ, Dan. I live in Toronto. Good place for stars to come now as we are champs. I hope so, man. I hope you guys recruit. I actually don't mind Toronto. I don't mind the Raptors. I think you guys are a class organization. I think the city's awesome. But I'm just telling you from what I hear from the grapevine. Now, I'm no agent or nothing like that, but from what I've seen, it is extremely hard for you guys to recruit in Toronto. And most stars can't wait to get out of there, man. Like, ever since the Vince Carter, Chris Bosh era, maybe you're right. Maybe a championship changes a certain player's mind. The only way I can see you guys landing a megastar is if and not even a megastar. Like, I'd say like a B-tier free agent. That's if nobody else will pay him the money he wants and you guys, give him that money. So that's the only way I can see it. But will you guys land an Anthony Davis type free agent? I doubt it. Nothing major. He said, weather should not be a factor to build a team. That's ridiculous. Hey, man, players are divas. I'm just telling you how it is, Ross. I don't mean to get your feelings all in a bunch, but I'm telling you, players are divas and they have their preferences. So it's the reason you guys lost Kawhi Leonard. I mean, let's be real. Let's be realistic. Why did you guys lose Kawhi Leonard? You guys are a better franchise than the Clippers, and you guys actually won a championship. So why'd you guys lose him, other than the weather and him being a Cali kid, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like it ain't coming from me, man. I'm not hating on T-Dot. Shoot, if I was an NBA player and the Lakers traded me and I became a free agent, then I wouldn't mind signing there. But I'm just telling you, man. Dan Caruso should start over Green. Caruso fits better with LeBron on the court. I agree with that. That's probably my preference. I would start at AC fresh. And then I think everything else will play out perfectly as far as the bench goes. People want to live in nice climate places. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even hating, dude. I ain't never been there, so I can't really speak like that. Kawhi is a special case. No player has left the championship team after winning. He was just a weirdo. Now, there we do agree. Kawhi Leonard is definitely a weirdo. Definitely. I agree with that. That we can agree on. It's a Lob City Clippers. You should check your history before talking. Yeah, there's no history there, so they're confused, right? Every time they go and type in, Clipper championships, they get redirected to some sort of stripper website. It's ridiculous, bro. I think it's called like Magic City or something like that. I think Caruso's better off the bench. We need another ball handler to replace LeBron. Caruso could also start. The times he started, he played exceptionally well, so I'm happy with that. My guy, Young Elder, thank you, bro. He said LeBron has to score and look for his shots early to set the tone. I do agree with that. He does have to be a little more aggressive, just a little bit more. I do feel like LeBron has to start off a little more aggressive. However, I'm okay with it for now. Come playoff time, I expect him to ramp up. I want him to set the table as a slasher. I mean, nobody can stop this 285-pound bull. Nobody. Jump out the building. Just crazy, man. Being a Clipper fan is like buying a Kia over a Mercedes. Facts. Worse, being a Clipper fan it's like buying a remote control car over any car. That's what it's like, man. It's like, yo, you want a real car or you want, Hey, man, we got to stop talking about the Clippers. We won. Let's focus on the Bucks. Oh, we ain't talking about the Clippers, man. We just smacking Clipper fans left and right. What's wrong with the Kia, LMAO? I mean, ask Blake Griffin, right? He was repping for y'all, man. And y'all just basically trashed him. The Kia rep. That's what's wrong with the Kia, man. He said, wow, Lakers rip Clippers all day, all the time. That's what we do over here, man. But they keep coming back because they love it. Will the Nuggets be a problem? Well, they haven't. You know what? They look a little rusty so far. They've been they lost today, right? I think they got smacked. I didn't watch that game, but I seen the score. I don't remember what the score was. But yeah, look, I like the Nuggets. They definitely have athleticism, length, a lot of youth, a lot of shooting. But their main advantage, where I would fear the Nuggets, would be to play them in the Mile High because they're used to it. Their lungs are expanded since they play there during their home schedule, and then teams that visit aren't used to it. So they run out of air quick and everything. Like they run out of gas when they get out there. So I'm not too concerned about them at this point. But I do respect them. I definitely do. The Rockets, the reason I don't want to face the Rockets is the floppery, man. I would probably lose my hair or the remainder of my hair, if we face the Rockets with all the flopping and all the calls they get. Now, playoffs are different, so maybe there's an exception. But I don't want to see James Harden's beard just basically flailing all over the wind for 7 games, potentially 7 games. So, yeah, basically the Nuggets, the Thunder are very formidable. The Thunder is somebody you might want to try to avoid in the first round because they're going to put up a fight. But, yeah, anybody in the West is going to be tough. The West is going to be very intriguing to watch. Now, the East has gained some respect this year, and they're going to battle it out at the top as well, with the Raptors and all that, all of a sudden showing some themselves to be formidable. Now, you got the Bucks out there, who are my favorites to come out of the East. You got the Celtics, who are actually very good, as much as I hate to say it. And then you got, let's not forget about the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks, yes, I hope the Clippers face the Dallas Mavericks in the first round and the Mavericks upset them. That would be a dream come true. Oh, my goodness. Like, they would become one of my favorite teams as much as I dislike Mark Cuban. So, yeah, that would be great. Clippers got to worry about the Mavericks first. He said, damn, these Clipper fans are annoying all day, man. And did you see them on the screen? Oh, my goodness, man. That's got to be some of the ugliest stuff I've ever seen. Damn. Did you see the Clipper fans on the screen? Was it today in the first quarter when I tuned in? They were showing some of those fans, man, and I could have sworn I seen Patrick Beverly family all up in there, man. That was ugly, bro. He said, you had Lou and Trez last game, you lost, and Lou will be a liability on D. Again, we're not going to talk about the Clippers, man. They're taking over the chat. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. As always, I love you guys. Laker fans only. Love you guys, man. I'll see you guys on the next one. We do play on Monday, so that should be a good one as well. I think does that one tip off at 6? Now, what I do like is I work in the nighttime, right? I'm going to clock in like at 10 something. So the funny thing is, since I clock in late, I get to watch the game since they're in the East Coast. They air a little bit earlier. Now, I would have really been like struggling to get ready for work and everything and doing the post-game recaps. But since they're in the East, no problem, guys. I got you guys. But for now, I have to go hit the shower and get ready for work. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the donations. As always, man, you guys are the best. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. 1 L. We'll bounce back from it. No worries. Peace out.